The film begins with the inauguration ceremony of the student council president and vice president at the most prestigious high school in the city. The event is witnessed by the faculty and all the students at the school. The newly elected student council president is a young man named Miyuki Shiragane, the school's top student, renowned throughout the prefecture. Not only is Miyuki intelligent and consistently ranked first, but he is also highly popular due to his handsome looks and firm demeanor. Meanwhile, the vice president position is filled by Kaguya Shinomiya, the daughter of a powerful conglomerate family. Like Miyuki, Kaguya is also exceptionally talented and excels in various fields. Her beautiful and charming appearance has made her immensely popular among the students. The scene then shifts to the student council room, where Miyuki and Kaguya are about to begin their duties as president and vice president. At that moment, they are discussing a rumor spreading around the school, claiming that they are a couple. Unexpectedly, both Miyuki and Kaguya secretly have feelings for each other, but their pride prevents them from confessing. As a result, they firmly believe that whoever confesses first will be seen as the loser. To them, love is akin to a battlefield, where expressing feelings first is equivalent to surrendering in combat and admitting defeat. 6 months pass since Miyuki and Kaguya assumed their roles in the student council, yet nothing significant happens between them. One day, the student council secretary, a cheerful girl named Chika Fujiwara, enters the council room and announces that she has won 2 tickets to a romantic movie premiering next week. Due to an urgent commitment, Chika offers the tickets to Miyuki and Kaguya. However, the tickets are suddenly snatched away by Yu Ishigami, the student council treasurer. Upon seeing the movie title and its romantic genre, Yu immediately discards the tickets, expressing his strong dislike for anything romantic. Miyuki checks his schedule and realizes that he is free on the day of the movie screening. Chika then teases that if Miyuki and Kaguya watch the movie together, they might end up as a couple. Hearing this, Kaguya devises a strategy to make Miyuki invite her to the movie first. Unexpectedly, Miyuki almost falls for her plan and is about to ask her out but quickly realizes Kaguya's tactic. In response, he launches a counter-strategy that leaves Kaguya momentarily speechless. Chika, completely oblivious to their rivalry, casually hands the tickets to Kaguya and walks out of the room. Using their wits, Miyuki and Kaguya each devise strategies to be invited to the movie first, believing that love is a battlefield. Kaguya approaches Miyuki and invites him to play a card game with the condition that the winner can ask the loser for anything they want, which Miyuki also agrees. Unexpectedly, Kaguya plans to deliberately let Miyuki win and then pretend to be sad and teary-eyed, hoping Miyuki will feel compelled to invite her to the movie. However, Miyuki sees through Kaguya's plan. Despite this, he strives to win the game. When he does, he only asks Kaguya for one of the tickets. The scene shifts to Kaguya having dinner at her luxurious home, accompanied by her servants. She informs them that she plans to go to the movies next week. Her servants are shocked, as they believe that someone of Kaguya's noble status and from a conglomerate family should not be mingling with the general public. Meanwhile, Miyuki shares his plans to see the movie with his father and younger sister. On the day of the screening, Miyuki hurriedly pedals his bicycle toward the cinema. At the same time, Kaguya has meticulously prepared everything to make their meeting at the theater appear purely coincidental. When they finally meet at the cinema and prepare to exchange their tickets at the counter, Kaguya becomes flustered while selecting seats since it is her first time watching a movie in public. Although they avoid openly acknowledging each other, both secretly hope to sit next to one another. Noticing Kaguya's hesitation, Miyuki subtly signals her to choose seats next to his. However, Kaguya misinterprets his signal, and they end up sitting far apart. One day, a student approaches Miyuki seeking advice on confessing his feelings to his crush. Assuming Miyuki, the most popular student in school, has extensive experience in love, the student earnestly asks for guidance. In reality, Miyuki has no experience with romance. To avoid being exposed in front of Kaguya, Miyuki takes the student outside to discuss the matter. Intrigued by what Miyuki might say, Kaguya asks her servant to spy on him. Using her advanced surveillance equipment, Kaguya discovers that Miyuki gives the student rather random advice. Kaguya assumes the advice will fail, but to her surprise, the the student successfully wins over his crush after following Miyuki's suggestions. Both Kaguya and Miyuki are equally stunned by this unexpected outcome. Shortly after, Kaguya and Chika are seen in a conversation where Kaguya feels uneasy because Chika uses an inappropriate word. When Miyuki enters the room, Chika innocently asks him a question, the answer to which includes the inappropriate word. To prevent any misunderstanding, Kaguya steps in and answers all of Chika's questions. However, Chika eventually says the inappropriate word directly to Miyuki, causing him to feel awkward and quickly leave the room. Not long after, Kaguya falls ill and has to rest at home for a few days. Since there are some important documents that require her signature, Chika asks Miyuki to deliver the papers to Kaguya's house. When Miyuki arrives at Kaguya's residence, he is awestruck by the grandeur and luxury of the Shinomiya family home. One of her maids informs Miyuki that any guest entering Kaguya's room must not stay longer than 3 hours, as the room lacks CCTV and is soundproof. Upon meeting Kaguya in her room, Miyuki is surprised to find her looking perfectly healthy and even acting like a playful child instead of bedridden, as he had feared. Kaguya's maid explains to Miyuki that whenever Kaguya has a fever, she behaves in this unusual manner and will not remember anything that happens until she falls asleep and wakes up the next day. The maid also warns Miyuki not to take advantage of Kaguya's vulnerable state. After the maid leaves, Kaguya invites Miyuki to lie down next to her on the bed. However, as Miyuki approaches, Kaguya falls asleep. Shortly after, Kaguya wakes up, shocked to find Miyuki lying beside her. In her panic, she pushes Miyuki off the bed. At that moment, Miyuki quickly explains that he didn't do anything inappropriate, but Kaguya, already furious, demands that he leave her house immediately. The next day at school, Kaguya shares her version of the incident with her friend, while Miyuki tells his side of the story to his friend. Both receive similar explanations from their friend and soon realize that the entire incident was nothing more than a misunderstanding. When they cross paths in the school corridor, Miyuki apologizes to Kaguya and admits that the only thing he did while she was asleep was touch her lips lightly with one finger. Hearing this, Kaguya gently touches Miyuki's lips with her finger and declares that they are now even. Later, as they are alone, both Miyuki and Kaguya appear overjoyed by the fleeting connection they shared, even if it was just a brush of their fingertips on each other's lips. During the summer vacation, Miyuki and Kaguya grow frustrated from not seeing each other for a while. Hoping to meet, Miyuki visits the school, unaware that Kaguya has the same idea. However, their timing does not align, and they miss each other, arriving at the school at different times. One day, Miyuki receives a message from Chika inviting their friends to a fireworks festival. Excited, Miyuki looks forward to the chance to meet Kaguya. Similarly, Kaguya, who also receives the message, feels the same joy, eager to see Miyuki. However, Kaguya's mates forbid her from attending the festival and block her from leaving the house. Not long after, Miyuki already arrives at the festival, waiting hopefully for Kaguya's arrival. Soon after, one of Kaguya's maids approaches Miyuki and informs him that Kaguya will not be able to attend. Determined, Kaguya attempts to sneak out of her house to meet Miyuki at the festival. Unfortunately, by the time she arrives, the fireworks have already ended, and she cannot find Miyuki anywhere. Heartbroken, Kaguya bursts into tears in a quiet corner of the park. Moments later, Miyuki appears and comforts her, suggesting they watch the fireworks at another location. Taking a taxi together, Miyuki and Kaguya enjoy breathtaking fireworks display in the sky. During the ride, Kaguya becomes even more certain of her feelings for Miyuki, and Miyuki feels the same about her. However, when they meet at school the following day, both Kaguya and Miyuki suppress their emotions, too proud to express their love. As their term in the student council comes to an end, Miyuki and the other members are seen packing their belongings from the student council room. As Kaguya prepares to leave, she suddenly collapses, clutching her chest and losing consciousness. Seeing this, Miyuki and the others quickly rush her to the hospital. At the hospital, Kaguya is immediately treated by a private doctor who has always handled the Shinomiya family's medical needs. After speaking with one of Kaguya's maids, Miyuki suspects that Kaguya may have a history of heart disease, as her mother had passed away due to the same condition. Miyuki later sees a televised interview with Kaguya's doctor, who explains that heart disease can be triggered by stress and suggests that regular dancing is one way to reduce stress. A few days later, Kaguya recovers and returns to school. She announces her plan to run for the position of student council president in the upcoming academic year. Although she appears fine, Miyuki quickly senses that Kaguya is hiding something behind her candidacy. Concerned about her health, Miyuki decides to run for president as well. He doesn't want Kaguya to bear the stress and workload of being the student council president, fearing it might cause her condition to relapse. This decision sparks another rivalry between the two. Later, one of Kaguya's maids informs her that Miyuki has been secretly meeting Chika in the school's storage room. Overcome with jealousy, Kaguya orders her maid to keep spying on Miyuki and Chika. Finally, the day of the student council president election arrives. During her speech, Kaguya takes the podium and publicly reveals Miyuki's secret meetings with Chika in the storage room, portraying them as shameful and inappropriate behavior. Hearing this, Miyuki immediately denies doing anything inappropriate with Chika and reveals that he was merely practicing dancing with her so he could one day invite Kaguya to dance. However, Kaguya remains skeptical of his explanation. Chika and Yu then step onto the podium and clarify the situation to Kaguya, explaining that Miyuki's only intention was to help Kaguya avoid stress through dancing, thereby preventing a relapse of her heart condition. To prove his sincerity, Miyuki showcases the results of his dance practice with Chika's accompaniment. Seeing this, Kaguya finally believes Miyuki's words. Deep down, Kaguya reflects on how she has often tried to tease Miyuki to reveal his flaws, but it seems he doesn't have any. Miyuki then shares his reason for running for student council president again in front of everyone. He explains that his motivation was to protect Kaguya from the burdens of student council responsibilities, which could potentially cause her stress and trigger her condition. However, Kaguya confesses that her recent chest pain and fainting were not caused by her heart condition, but rather because she was falling in love. Unexpectedly, Kaguya openly declares her love for Miyuki, and Miyuki, in turn, confesses his feelings for Kaguya. Unaware of their surroundings, Miyuki and Kaguya realize too late that they have expressed their feelings in front of everyone. Embarrassed, they both try to cover it up by claiming that their love is actually directed at the school. After being elected as student council president, Miyuki asks Kaguya to be his vice president, and she happily accepts. The two are about to share a kiss when Chika and Yu suddenly walk into the student council room. Mistaking the moment for an argument, Chika urges them to make amends, accidentally causing Miyuki and Kaguya to kiss. Chika and Yu are utterly shocked to see the rival pair kissing. Yet, due to their mutual pride, both Miyuki and Kaguya insist that the kiss was intentional, each believing that in the ongoing battle of love, they had claimed victory. After all, to them, love is war. So the moral of the story is, if love feels like a battlefield, don't let pride turn it into a comedy war. Pack your dance shoes, bring a solid excuse, and maybe keep an eye on your friends. They might accidentally be the ones who push you into a victory kiss.